First we have Alice Shepherd Thompson, who was here from 1941 to 1949. Next we have Claire Quirk Tompkinson, who was here from 1941 to 1949. We have Sister Cecily Foster, who started in 1942 and finished in 1950. And we have Joan Foster Tierney, who started in 1946 and finished in 1954. Now, Alice, you were just telling us a little bit about the maypole. Would you mind repeating that? Because that was fascinating.
Yes, well, a few years into our schooling here, it was decided, I guess, that they'd try and entertain the people who were coming to spend a bit of money at the fete. And we had this group of, I forget how many girls it would have been, but we had pink and blue ribbons, and each child had one particular colour in sequence: pink, blue. And we danced around to the music that is possibly played on a bit of a radio, stereogram, what do you call them in those days?
Yeah.
Recorded music it would have been. And so we danced away
and that's obviously a really fond memory.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
But the ribbons, the piece of timber holding the ribbons came adrift halfway through, which of course, if you've ever seen a maypole dance, it threw all the sequins out. Instead of being nice and even, it got a bit knotted. But my dad, who was a carpenter, climbed up and fixed that, so on we went and finished the
And
maypole.
sometimes you had to unwind it.
Yes,
you had to unwind, you go back and unwind to fix it up.
Yes.
And do what you had done to get it into sync again.
That was all taught by the teachers from the Grahamsborough
Grahamsborough.
School of Physical Education.
So what sorts of things did they teach you besides the maypole dance?
Oh, all the exercises. Drill.
Drill.
They're trying to keep us fit.
Yeah,
Marching,
absolutely.
all of that.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And then some of those athletic things, you know, you have to
Yes.
run round different circles and run round teams.
Yes,
And
that's right.
Ball skills as well?
Yes.
Yeah, not so
Not so much.
much in the ball.
not as much
Maybe
ball.
you did.
Yeah, we had, but more, I think, exercises.
Yes,
You know?
Yeah, okay.
that was the focus.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
also remember Archbishop Dewey during my time and your time.
Yes.
He celebrated, would it have been his 50th golden
Oh, it could have
anniversary?
been. It could have been.
And we went to All Hallows to practice because he was being the Star of Honour at a mass that was out in the open at the exhibition grounds. And we had to do a little series of exercises and sort of, you know, rotating around the little field. And we had as many as we could gather from all the classes.
Yes.
And I remember I was in the front because I was the smallest. So that would have been an afternoon out for us.
And while you're talking about Archbishop Dewey, it was the most wonderful thing that we loved, absolutely loved. He would visit the school every year and bring those little ice cream cones. Do you remember those little buckets of ice cream?
Yeah.
You know, ice
He's
cream was
black
unheard
beauty.
of, you know, because we never had ice cream as children. But he would come and the kids, we used to, and sometimes he'd give us half a holiday or a holiday.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
I remember
probably
the
what I
holiday.
would remember about the holiday.
Oh yeah, I remember the holiday.
Holiday, definitely.
He was a lovely fellow, certainly
He
was.
loved the children.
Yes.
Remember him? And his black beauty.
Yes. The fete, again, we were talking about the fete before, that it was every year, and what was the story about the donkey?
That was Mr. Cullerton out there. He lived out on Preston Road. The Cullerton family all went to school here, of course. And he would bring the donkey because it was a way of making money. I thought it was sixpence, but that seemed a lot. Not a
penny.
I don't think we
It
could have
probably
started
wasn't
with
money.
pennies.
It's not a lot of money, but we all queued up for the thing. But the fete itself was a very big thing every year because it went on all day, and then we had the concert at night.
That's right, and everybody helped, all the parishioners made their little contribution.
Yeah, it was a parish fete, which
And
the school was involved.
my dad, Cess and my dad, he did the wheel every year to Cess. And I know, my memory, I had to go out and take all these letters. Dad would type up the letters to all the businesses in Wynnum and Manly and ask them for a donation to put on the wheel. And I can remember I used to get swept out of shops, not giving to any Catholic church or anything. But he got a lot of things.
Everything for nothing.
Everything for nothing. He had left after the day the wheel went on into the night.
Yes,
in the catacombs of the
yes,
old
when we
convent.
had our little concert.
Yes, where we had the concert where we all wore white dresses and sang and all that. But I remember the going around with the letters, you know, and I hated doing that. But it was, but anyhow, it made a lot of money. That chocolate building.
It was because everything was for nothing.
Everything was donated, yes. And some of the businesses of Manly and Wynnum were really generous, weren't they? And some would not give it all.
No. Joan, you were saying where you sort of had your classes. Would you like to just quickly go through that?
Well, I know that all the preps were always in the garage, which is ramp going up, like a bitumen ramp, and no steps, it just, because cars could drive in.
Yes.
But we all did our preps there. 2 years of preps, 6 months in
Prep
in
1, 2,
prep 1, 2, 3 and 4. And I didn't, when I finished my prep, I know that the others would be different, but the school bought the house next to the presbytery, and that's where we went for from grade 1 right through to scholarship. But I think you would know, Alice, that you had it on the convent.
We had it on
we
the
also
veranda.
in the church.
In the
Yes.
church. I started off in the garage, prep 1, 2, 3 and 4, two years there. Then in grade 1 we had Sister Pascal, and grade 2 we were on the side veranda of the church,
Right.
and grade 3 and 4 was on the front veranda of the old convent.
Yes.
That was Mother Columba. And grade 5 we were down in the catacombs with Sister James.
So
And
that was
grades-
the morning session.
Yes, and she used to
taught
teach music after that, and we used to go up to Sister Bernard on the other side veranda and did 6 and 7 up there. So they were all on those verandas.
And the nuns that taught you, like I had Mother Columba in grade 4 and,
She was here for
and
a
Sister Pascal in grade 1 and
Yeah.
2, but I did have Sister Teresita for scholarship. But as I said, I didn't take part in any of that schooling in the convent or the church,
Yeah, well, we
because we
went-
bought the house. They bought the
Yeah,
house.
scholarship year, 1949.
You went in there.
That we went across to the big house.
Yes.
And that became school for most of the classes.
Except for the
Okay.
preps, they
Yeah,
stayed
that's
over in the
the-
garage.
The grades went over.
The grades from grade 1 right through. They just converted all the rooms to
They did.
Classrooms.
It was a lovely sort of old Queenslander type of house.
True.
Yes.
Arthur and I used to play the piano to mark the children to march into school.
So Alice and Claire, can you remember the names of the sisters who were here in those foundation years?
Yes, well, there was a Mother Jarlath. I think
She
that
was the
the
scholarship teacher.
first year, 1941. And she was the head nun.
She taught
There was
Mary.
Sister John,
Yes.
Sister
Taught them.
Brendan.
Taught Ernie.
I'm not quite sure if she came early. In my memory, Mother Jarlath
Yes.
left fairly early in the piece. But John taught preps for a lot
Don't
of
we know?
time.
Don't we know?
Yes.
And were the classes small or large?
Fairly small.
I think they grew as the
Yes,
school
yes.
sort of became more known to people in the district. I
But
think.
then they must have tapered off
Yes.
because like I had 5 in my scholarship class, and yet like that Frances Smith, and then she was here for all that other part up to grade 6.
Yes.
But they were bigger, and then they must have gone off or tapered off.
Well, the year ahead of us, we had Janice McKay,
Yes.
Doreen Barrett,
Yes, I remember all those.
might have been one of Near Dowling, I'm not sure. So that was a small class compared
Yes,
with us,
yes.
because we had quite a few.
Yes.
I had 12 in my scholarship class,
12.
and just from memory, I think the school, can remember them saying that there were 90 children in the school. The boys went to St Lawrence's because they could go there from grade 3.
That's
They had gone by the time scholarship came. I had one boy.
Yeah,
I had one boy
one.
too, one boy in my class in Scotland.
Because they could go on the train, the train from
Yeah.
Manly Parish was, Father Nolan was the parish
Yes,
priest
he
when
said
I
he
was
was
here.
all the time I
But-
can remember.
Yeah.
And
all my
his
childhood.
parish went right down to Cleveland,
Yes.
and it also
Straight
took
Peel
in,
Island.
also
Yes,
took in
right.
Dunwich.
And
He
Peel
used-
Island.
And Peel Island. He used to
Leopard
say
Road.
mass at Dunwich once a month. And
Stradbroke.
but Karen, they were all farms mainly.
Yes.
A lot of the children came on the train from the farms down at
Yeah.
Wellington.
Well, the train was running in those days, and then they pulled it up,
Yes.
pulled the line up, and then
They
rebuilt the line, Karen.
Right.
You know, that's history of
Same position?
Yes.
Same,
It used to go to Cleveland,
Yes.
the train, And
Yes.
they stopped, I don't know what year it stopped, but all my time I lived at Manly before I entered the convent, the
Yeah.
train was, then they pulled up the line
Mm.
and then they put it back, what, 20
They
years
saw
ago?
the folly of their ways.
So there was several years gap with
Gap with no train line.
It's just, that's right. I just remember, I just loved school. We
Yeah.
lived at Boulder and we'd catch the bus or on, they used to have missions, when they have missions here. And we would, Betty Hay and myself, we would get, at dark, get up, ride our bikes up to the mission, head to Mass and then back home again and off to school, and I just loved it, you know. And then the friends that we made, we've kept friends.
I love it.
And it was, special memories to me. But I just loved it. And as far as the faith goes, my mum was a good cook,
Yeah.
and she made these sponges. And of course, I'd take them up, you know, and the nuns would say, "Oh no, don't put them out."
They wanted to keep
But
them.
they kept all the sponges, and then someone would say, "Where's Mrs. Quirk's sponges?" "Oh, they must be all gone." But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and the fates were great.
She was just telling me that her cousin sister Kevin, she taught me in the prep, and that was Claire's. I didn't know that.
I didn't
but,
know that either.
And
Didn't you know?
she was the loveliest. She was the kindest person.
She was beautiful.
Absolutely
Yeah.
lovely.
She taught elocution.
Did she?
Yeah, she did teach me too.
Tell me something about the curriculum, the sorts of things that you were taught.
Oh, I tell you what, we were taught to memorise. We could recite poems off by heart. We knew all our tables. We used to do all this mental. Remember the mental arithmetic?
Mental arithmetic.
And
Yes.
you'd be so fast. I can still, and I think this, I can still add up like that with
Yes,
figures.
you can because you were taught that way. But the house
Right.
that they bought, that I did all my from grade 1 on, it was like an old Queensland. It had just dirt underneath, but it had the slats. But we used to go down under there because it was lovely and shady, and we used to do our tables, you know. And in those days it was pounds, shillings, and pence. And I said we knew we'd say 9 6s are 54, pence 4 and 6, and we had to say what it was worth in money, you know.
Learned whole poems off by heart.
Yes, you knew. Yes, you did know.
So literature was good.
And I was just going to say, Karen,
We could read.
the curriculum of the reading books.
Yes.
There were 4 for the preps, and then there was a book right through to grade 7, and I still remember all the stories in
Queensland
them.
readers.
Do you know that you might know this being a teacher, but they did put out those books. I have got teachers in my family too, and they have got them. I've got a set of them at home with
Oh,
the 4
Queensland
prep
readers,
books.
yeah.
All the Queensland readers used to say to my children and my grandchildren, it's a shame that, like, we knew that first book we had at school for Prep 1, where you had the alphabet done out with pictures, like an apple on a twig, and we knew, and we sort of read by sounding out the words.
Yes.
And I used to say to them, get that old book, Paul, and show these children how to...
But they were beautiful stories.
They were beautiful stories.
They all had a
and,
moral.
and they did, the whole, right through to grade 7.
Would you say you got a solid education?
Oh, yes.
In the basics, yes, and certainly like it was history and geography
Yes.
in our time, and you know you had to draw maps freehand, you know,
Yes.
you just had, and you. Because that was part of, you get a map for scholarship and you'd have to put in all these places, you just have to know.
Capital cities,
Yes.
states.
And
Yeah.
they were
Continents.
mainly a map of one of the Commonwealth countries.
Yes, yes.
And when I did scholarship, I sat there and I dreaded getting, South Africa or something. And in 1954 we had Queensland.
Oh,
And
that was
the easiest one to draw in.
We had New Zealand.
Did you?
We had
All
India.
those funny spelling
Isn't that
names.
interesting?
Yes.
Yes, all Maori names.
And then we'd
Yes.
have an English book, a novel that was set for English.
Mm.
The,
Barrier Reef days.
yes, it was. But before that, they had We of the Never Never.
Yes.
Oh.
My
Right,
brothers, my older
Yes.
brother and sister had that book.
Yeah.
We of the Never Never.
Did you have Barrier Reef days? I had Barrier
Yes,
Reef
we
days.
did. I think it might have been the first year.
Yeah, you had it.
Yes, I think it was.
All right, ladies,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have to
but-
leave it there. So thank you very much. I've quite enjoyed listening to your stories.
We've rambled on. and
No,
it's
it's
great.
great. I'm glad it's been
A few
captured.
interesting things, hopefully.
Yeah.
It's amazing that we all remember the same things because they did stay in your
Yes.
mind.
Memory,
You know?
absolutely.
Yes.